この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here on this chilly Monday morning for the Tatami Galaxy. The Tatami Galaxy. I must enunciate, but it's really cold. We're on episode 5. We're probably going to watch episode 5 and maybe episode 6. We'll see. Kind of want to cross the halfway point in today's reaction just for funsies. I kind of have this feeling like if there's a time to change up the formula or do something really interesting, it would be right around the halfway point after we've had 3 episodes of like consistently introducing like the same thematic cycle over and over and over. But we'll see. We could just go straight up till the end before anything actually changes, which would make a lot of sense given the time loop nature of the show so far. We'll see. In any case, last week we watched episodes 3 and 4. We had one episode where we joined the cycling club or cycling circle, and a whole bunch of stuff happened. Ozu turned into like a crime boss who steals bikes from places for a public service, and then sells them on the open market or black market, or it wasn't super clear. It doesn't really matter. But he became quite the enemy for Watashi in that episode. We made some mistakes that led to a whole bunch of wasted effort and a realization that Akashi really needed him for who he was, and he fucked that up by getting Soul, because whoops. Not always the best move. Maybe staying the same is not the worst thing. And a fantastic scene of him in a Birdman glider just like flying down a hill and essentially dying. And then resetto, and all was well-ish. At which point we went ahead and joined not a circle or a club, but a group of underlings being effectively exploited by the Shisho, the master, and ended up on a mission trying to find a unique scrub brush that had holy power to scrub things real good. And there was a song for some reason, a really cool song, and then Shisho plotted out a journey across the world, given that he was graduating after his 8th year of college. Shit. Plotted out a journey across the world and thus needed somebody to take on his role as the next descendant of an ongoing, very, very generational, long-standing prank war, with Ozu getting the other side of that deal, being passed down from Jogasaki. 2 crazy episodes, as they all have been so far. I'm hoping for more of the same. Let's find out what we've got coming at us this time from the Tatami Galaxy. I'm expecting insanity, and I hope I will not be disappointed. So, let's go ahead and dive on into the Tatami Galaxy episode 5 and see what we see, find out what we find out, and see if we want to talk about it at the end. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description. A timer-based version will be up on YouTube, and if you want to sync up your own copy of the episode with the timer-based version, you're welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now-ish. Is this too hot to handle? Kind of. Oh, that feeling. Yeah. True darkness is weird, man. Even if you're in a place that you know the layout of, it messes with you. So what are we doing? Yes. As a worker bee? Yeah, colony collapse disorder is a huge problem, and nobody knows why. What the fuck? Hey. Worker bees? So, mindless drones? So, like religion? Like a cult? Did Ozu make a cult? Ozu made a fucking cult, didn't he? God, he probably did it accidentally, too. Well, as accidentally as he does anything awful. Alright, I'm just gonna listen to this awesome OP. Alright. Indeed, as they do. But then, softball. Oh, it's got a bee motif. Sounds nice-ish, and completely the opposite of every softball or baseball or any other sports team. Alright, I'm gonna shut up. Yeah, I got a feeling that's not gonna happen. It is, but you're terrible at it. Uh-huh. I mean, yeah. And... oh. It's very Jogasaki. Let's go. Alright, softball circle home waka. As you are. As always. Sure. Sure. Those are creepy. They're like masks. So maybe not a cult. Although the hats are very... Oh. Nice. Uh-huh. Okay. Sure. Hmm. They're all real into this whole organic thing, huh? Are they eco-terrorists? I'm confused now. No. How dare you? Oh, and a cold breeze blows. Huh? The fuck did you just say? Mm-hmm. 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 Hey, you buddy. As he always does. As he always would. Sure. Oh gosh. They're like masks. They're creepy. Uh-huh. Not you. Fireworks? Hmm. Is it her? The one? Oh, that's a different girl, isn't it? Is that the one who Hua hua. Mm. Mm-hmm. Queen bee. Royal jelly and that sounds like energy drinks and fat slimming things. Uh-huh. Oh, Neko ramen. The taste is unmatched. Hmm. That actually makes sense. Tasty fish. Mm-hmm. Oh. Umbrella group? This is an MLM thing, isn't it? Worker bees? Weird health food organic stuff? Oh shit. Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, yes, it is. Alright, it's not a cult, but it might as well be. Uh-huh. That's the way these things work, man. Become a diamond gold platinum super member. Is that you just buying them? Mm-hmm. Oh. The parallels are perfect. It is. Uh-huh. But right. Right. Because you're feeding all of your moolah into the company. Yeah. Oh, back through this cycle. I'm sure that's why. And they're all selling to one another. Probably. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As it does. Uh-huh. Whoops. No, it won't. Uh-huh. But it became your style. Visually. Oh, 5K this time? Always. Well, Yeah. He didn't say, did you raise your prices again? That's okay, we know. Oh. Oh. It's the retreat. Oh boy. All the blindfolds. Go in blind, yep. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. Danger, danger, danger. Danger, danger, danger. Welcome to being a worker bee. Right. Yeah, the world is out to get you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Wow, it is both MLM and a cult. People like the law and, you know. Hello, you fat ass head. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Really? The head guy isn't Ozu in disguise, is it? Right? No, it can't be. I'm just traumatized a little bit. Ah, too bad. Oh. 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 How wise. Oh, wow. It is both MLM and a suicide cult, isn't it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. You gotta get out, dude. Queen Bee? Hey, what up? Bye. Oh, is that, what is that purple gas? Is that brainwashing shit? Or death shit? Uh-oh. Oh, they're all gonna, this is gonna be like Crybaby. Wow. Hey, real talk. Wow. Oh, buddy. Uh-huh. 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 I wonder who. Hmm. Oh boy. It wasn't you. Oh, it was you. Yeah, let's bounce. And thus we got to the beginning. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh boy. What's plan B? Straight into the woods. Huh? Yeah, sure. Thanks, Shisho. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do a search. Oh. Is this the episode one end? And so far, no sign of the of the one. So those are jumping between timelines. Oh, she brought the. Okay. Hi. Hi. What's up? Okay, we're changing things up. Okay. Okay. Huh. Okay, so there's our sign of her. That doesn't make sense, but okay. Always. Always dangling. Wait, is that you? Oh, wow. Sure would. Good question. I mean, maybe. Something's breaking down. Oh boy. That's the outfit that Ozu was wearing in the end of episode 1, right? Yeah. All right. Feels like everything's going to implode next episode, so we're watching next episode for sure. I really like this ED. It is so good. Okay, to start, I want to go just check something in episode 1. Just, are there people in bee suits going after him here at the place? So there's a burning thing on the place. There he is. Now's the time. Oh, it's all sorts of people from all the different sections. You damn traitor, you've got nowhere to run. I don't see bee people, but that's okay. It's all of them. They're all coming back to get him. It's all sort of mashed together. He comes back with him for a message. Grab the opportunity. Okay. Okay. Back to episode 5. This was an interesting one. So I was kind of hoping and expecting for something to change drastically, and it did and it didn't. There are elements here that are like timelines are leaking between one another. We have another version of Watashi with a full beard, as though he's been out on either on the journey that Shisho was plotting out, or just out in the woods somewhere for a long time as a hermit or something. Maybe we'll see that version of him come this time. But there are other things that have been leaking through, and Ozu is one of them. I've been trying to keep my eye on him, and also kind of wondering whether the prank war would come into play during this episode in any way, and it didn't seem to. Certain elements are certain elements seem to be, I guess, fated or like inevitable. Like he inevitably meets Ozu. He inevitably meets Akashi, but not always in the same context, or never in the same context, and not always is she like a proud standing love interest or anything like that. And we got no promise in this episode, which is one thing that's definitely different. What's always fascinating is what changes and what stays the same. Um, it gives this feeling like certain elements are fated. Like meeting the fortune teller seems to be an element of fate. That one has been entirely consistent, has never changed. Neko Ramen is sometimes there, sometimes not. It changes. It's dependent on what he does, what he chooses at the beginning. But the Mochikuman is always there. It's always the opportunity that's dangling before his eyes. Ozu, he always meets, no matter what. The Shisho is always somewhere around the master. Ah, that's interesting. Um, One thing that struck me about just struck me when I was watching this episode in a weird sort of meta way. Um, how do I start explaining this? I don't know. Treasure Hunt is going to be coming up soon. We've got a new season of anime coming up, and so I've been attempting to work out like a rubric of some kind, like some kind of list of things that I should be looking for in anime, in new shows, in their episode ones, as like, what is the purpose of the episode one, and how well does this particular show achieve that purpose? And in doing so, I started doing some research into what other people think for them the purpose of anime is. And I know that's a weird question to ask, but it's also like the core and most important question to ask. And one of the things that I came across a couple of times was an argument that's happened many times on Reddit threads and on older forums and elsewhere, where people say like, "Oh, but lots of anime like is just the same kinds of concepts just being rehashed. I find that boring." And then usually the counter argument to that is, there's nothing wrong with cliches, and I'm paraphrasing obviously. There's nothing wrong with cliches, and there's nothing wrong with rehashing the same concepts in slightly different ways. And for some reason, this episode, watching Tatami Galaxy, I couldn't help but think of exactly that. That we're rehashing the same concept in different ways, and what's fascinating about it is both what stays the same and what is different. And I get value and intrigue from both, from the elements that remain the same in each of Watashi's cycles, the things that we can almost presume are faded, and then the things that change but always end up in the same place, because I would assume the message is because he has not changed in any of these circumstances. He's still the same person. He still sees the world through the same rather naive lens, seeking this rose-colored college life, but not having the skills or the just simple understanding of other people to get there. It's really fascinating to me, and it strikes me as one of the core elements of this story. Like, how many times, how many of you have looked back upon your life and said, man, if only I had made some different decision at this point, everything would have been different for me. But would it? Because you still would have acted similarly. You still would have been the same person in different circumstances. And you might have made choices that would have led you down similar paths and to the same point of despair or loneliness or whatever. You might have still made those same choices. The specific external choices that you make are not the way to change your life. You have to start with you, right? You gotta start with the man in the mirror, right? It's gotta be you. And so as we come to the midway point, and the midway point is now essentially. This is the midpoint because there are 11 episodes. I guess halfway through next episode will be the midpoint proper. As we come to the midpoint of this show, I just have to wonder how much of the intended message of this show is that you can externalize the ramifications of your choices and of your own nature as much as you want. You can say that it's the world that did this to me, and Watashi has been doing that over and over and over and over, and desperately refusing to take responsibility for himself, for being the person who got himself where he is. And that's a kind of selfish naivete, intentional blindness that hamstrings his entire life. And until he gets over it, I don't think anything is going to change for him. And I think that's what we're showing. I think we're showing that external choice where he places all of the blame on the choice that he made at the beginning of college to join some certain club, that is not the thing that affects his life. He always ends up in the same place regardless, until he learns to communicate with people and to not go blindly seeking the things that other people tell him are worthwhile. We'll see as we go along how that shapes up into a more cohesive theme. And it might not be cohesive. It might be sprawling and ambiguous and weird, and I'm okay with that too. But we'll see how it shapes out. Should be interesting either way. So I've gone for this entire discussion so far without even talking about the core elements of this story, because at this point in the story that we're telling, they're less important it's less important what's happening outside of Watashi. It's more important what's happening inside of this nameless character that we have as our protagonist and our point of view character and the shaper of our view into this world. He sees things not as they are, but as they are convenient for him to see them in retrospect usually. And I think that's fascinating, and I think it's a really clever storytelling device. It's really fucking good Yuasa stuff. Ugh, okay, so let's talk about the thing that's going on here, and it is. I said immediately like a cult because I was like, oh damn it, did Ozu start a fucking cult? Because that would be hilarious. And in a way, yes, but it's more than a cult. It is a multi-level marketing scheme. And if you're unfamiliar with MLMs, they're also often known as pyramid schemes, but that's usually used for referring to like a specific type of financial scheme. Let me look up just so that I've got a list of examples, because there are a lot of these, and you've got to be careful of them. Uh, they will get you. They will get people around you, and if you've never been around somebody who's gotten taken in by a multi-level marketing scheme, it's an interesting experience to be around somebody who comes to believe this drivel. And it is drivel. It's bullshit. But it sounds, one, like a legitimate business when you're told about it, unless you know the warning signs. And two, it will do exactly what it did to him, which is there is very, very little chance that anyone who gets into a multi-level marketing scheme will actually make their way to the top of it. It's a pipe dream, and it's structured to be one. The entire point of it is that you hand off your funds to the higher ups in the company. And unless you get in at the ground level and become one of the upper levels initially, there's very little chance that you're ever going to make any money off of an MLM. You will be essentially throwing your money toward this company, and it will all be gathered and gathered and gathered up and up and up toward the people at the top, which is exactly what we see here. So, all right, I've got some Lime Life, Juice Plus, Beachbody, Avon products. Yeah, that's a big one. Amway. Amway is a huge one. Health, beauty, and home care products. Sister companies under Altacore, 8.8 billion in sales in 2018. Has also been investigated for pyramid scheme techniques. Yeah. Secret, Sensei, Pampered Chef, OmniLife. OmniLife is that the juice one? No, it's mostly a Latin American one. It's not the one I'm thinking of. There's one that I'm thinking of that's real bad. Solave, Telex Free. Lots of them have gone under because they inevitably do, or they're investigated for being fucking scams, because they are. There are a lot of these. There are a lot of these. It's also called network marketing or referral marketing or pyramid selling. Um, the entire thing about it is that you create a you're told that you are a franchise. You personally are a franchise for selling the products of this business, and you just have to buy products from the business so that you can resell them at a profit. But you don't really make much of a profit. You don't make almost any profit. What happens is you're told that you need to get people to do the same thing. So go and tell your friends that you've got this new great business venture, that they can be a franchise. They just need to buy some products from you, and then they become your downline, right? So at that point, any products that they sell, you get a little cut of, you get a little kickback, and then you tell them you need to get referrals of your own because that increases your downline. I see the pyramid being grown here. Essentially, you're gathering a bunch of worker bees trying to set yourself up as a queen bee of your own, but in reality, all you're doing is passing the majority of your profits up to whoever's the queen bee above you, and they're doing the exact same thing. The whole thing is insidious, and it spreads like a plague. It multiplies like bacteria. And the worst problem about it is that it's most effective on those people who are susceptible to any kind of promise of potential wealth, right? People who are working dead end jobs and or can't find jobs. And also lot of the time, single parents or women who stay at home, because they are told you can help support your family or you can help support yourself. This will be great for you. All you have to do is convince your friends, right? And then they'll be doing the work for you, and you'll be making a great profit and doing good because you're selling good products, usually things that work, usually things that have some kind of, often like a moral or health consideration. And so the choice of honeybees and royal jelly and honey products and things like that is fantastic here because it works on the level that multi-level marketing companies really do work on. They try to convince you that the thing you're selling is good because if you believe it, you're going to be having a better time convincing other people to believe it as well and to buy it. Usually the products are extremely marked up, essentially generics, and are made very quickly and mechanically and have generally no actual health benefits. One person, I became in college. I became quite good friends with a bartender at a local pizza shop slash bar in my college town, and she was pretty cool. I liked her a lot. She had her what it's not what would it be? She had a child, and the child's dad was not present and had not been for a long time. I think he was in jail. Not positive. She was pretty tatted up, and she was a cool girl, but a little funky, a little weird. Um, had a difficult home situation, worked really long hours, worked her ass off at this bar, and was wonderfully chipper and a great person to get along with. You have to color that with the fact that that's also her job and she's a bartender. Like bartenders aren't your friends, but I think over a couple of years of me being a regular getting pizza and beers and stuff, we became pretty good friends. And one day she comes over and we would talk occasionally because the place was usually empty when I was in there. I would come in at like 3 in the afternoon because I woke up at like noon. It's college. She came over and she started telling me about this amazing thing that she got. She got these like plastic, essentially saran wrap with sticky stuff on the inside that you stick to your belly, and it makes your belly smaller, and it's really getting rid of the fat. And me with a bit of a background in exercise and nutrition, I was like, that's not how that works at all. It is probably just sucking water out of you, and that's probably not a thing. But she was so convinced, selling it to all her friends, selling it to all the patrons who came into her bar, trying really hard. And then it never went anywhere because it never goes anywhere because some people will be gullible enough to believe this stuff, but most will not. And that's the problem with these things, is that if you get convinced, you may or may not have an easy time convincing other people. She was luckier than a lot of people who get into this are. She didn't end up buying stacks and stacks and stacks of this stuff in order to attempt to raise her level in the company. She got out of it relatively quickly. I'd like to hope, in part because I like really tried to tell her that it was a bad idea and that you were getting pulled in by a multi-level marketing thing. Like don't trust this. It's not real. But that was just one of a couple of experiences I've had with this kind of stuff, and it's real scummy, and it sounds real good on paper. Often you'll get invited to like a seminar or something where somebody gets up in front of the group and just does the speech about how great this is, and sort of your classic like, you can be just like me, and they'll be in a nice suit and show you pictures of a home that's probably not theirs and be like, this is the life, you can do this, just sign up and use my referral code. It's a fucked industry, and it is an illegal industry, but the various companies that have succeeded and continued to succeed have ways of getting around the letter of the law, if not the spirit of it. So I, all of this to say, keep your eye out, because these things exist and they are predatory companies that prey on people. Their funds do not come from the products that they are selling. They come from the explosion of referrals that can be given if you've got a good enough pitch. And you getting in to one of these companies is just going to serve the people above you on the food chain and is never going to amount to anything for you individually. You are essentially a worker bee who goes out and gathers the pollen and gathers the nectar and turns it into honey, and it is used for the good of the hive, but not for you. You're expendable. So keep an eye out, and if you ever get approached with a job offer or a create your own business kind of offer that sounds a little too good to be true, be very suspicious, because it probably is too good to be true, and it's probably a scam. So this is a great episode because it talks about a real thing that really happens in a very funny and goofy and relatable and interesting way, and actually shows and demonstrates some of the elements that this kind of company actually uses. The whole go on a spiritualist retreat where you're all blinded and brought in and then given this moment to be true about your feelings and express yourself. These are classic techniques to indoctrinate people into a society and make them feel like there's a community here. And these retreats exist in lots of circles. They exist not only in companies like this, although those are prominent, but also in religious circles. It's another thing to be suspicious of, because it is very easy to get swept along with the current of a lot of people really enjoying themselves and having genuine moments and forget that those are things that can be used to manipulate you, because they can. And genuineness is maybe the greatest manipulator of people. We can sense it and we love it. And so the greatest thing that a liar can do is get somebody else to be genuine to you. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But I think it's demonstrated over the course of this episode. Like the people in power in this company are clearly scum, and they are facilitating community and facilitating a group of people being super open and honest and truthful to each other about their own flaws, in order to get them to feel like there's something more here than a scummy company taking advantage of you. But there isn't. All in all, a great episode and just chock full of great moments. I think the most fascinating thing here is how things seem to be breaking. I don't know. Like, things seem to be falling apart with the whole time loop sequence. Is this the really cool cut? Yeah, this is the one thing that I really wanted to look at again. The sketchy cut. There. Oh, that's awesome. Becomes so emotive with all of these almost random sketchy shadows. Awesome. All right. That's going to be it for episode 5 of Tatami for me. Let's go ahead and jump on into episode 6. I'm going to take a quick break, do a syncy thingy, and we'll come back in just a moment for episode 6 of the Tatami Galaxy. See you in a moment. Peace. All right, welcome back. We are good to go for Tatami Galaxy episode 6. Let's see if things keep shaking up. They seem to really get kind of weird in the last episode, in the last portions of it. So I'm kind of expecting that things are going to get weirder than weird in this episode. We'll see. Beep beep timer. But what? Oh, yeah, she's great. Okay. Okay. Hanuki? None? What? How did you get... This is a big departure from being a complete failure at love. How did you get in the good graces of 3 different women? There's gotta be a twist. Because that doesn't sound like the Watashi I know. I love this section of this song. Back to the beginning. Okay. It sure does. Oh. That's a way to go. It is. Shame and self-pride. I'm sure you'll find one. You're real good at that. What an interesting visualization. Ooh. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, hi. Uh-huh. Yeah, it doesn't help that much until you can actually put it together. Pew, pew, pew. Right. Oh. Great. No, no, no. Oh my. Mm-hmm. Hmm. What? Cunning plots or tasting people's fingers? Of course he does. Oh, hi. Sort of. I believe that, actually. Prepared reports. You running a side business, Ozu? I gotcha. Okay. Of course you were. Oh. Gotcha. Always, and we're flashing through all of them. He does. Sure. Sure. Ozu, ease. Bad boy. Demon man. Wah! Wah! Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, man. Oh, she does. Can cause problems. Yeah. Is that meant to be phallic? Hmm. Mm-hmm. It's Jogasaki, right? It's Shisho? Oh? So you do have a boyfriend then. Oh, a pen pal. So that's number 2. Or number 3, I'm not sure. Indeed. Hmm. Nope. As he puts your chair in. Oh, Ozu. Thanks, buddy. What the fuck? A what? Uh-huh. Wait, that's the mystery hot pot that they... Okay. Everything's blended now. What the fuck? Oh. I didn't recognize the name. He's become... Oh my god, he's become... Wow. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hmm. Game of life. The spinner. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, what happened? Hell yeah. Or she feels like shit right now and needs somebody to talk to. Screw him. Fucking no. You don't write reports. You buy them from Ozu, dude. Bruh, she needs somebody to talk to. Why? By what? Huh? Oh. Oh. So, the night of choices. Oh, hi. Wow. Oh, she actually nailed it this time. What the fuck? Give money. Oh, hi. Oh. Oh, hi. Hey. Uh-huh. Instant glow. Sure you do. Wait, your job? Did he lend him Kaori? Oh boy. Causes problems. Like a quarter. Oh, you're getting close. Oh, jeez. They're just becoming more horrible. Johnny? Oh my. This just became psychedelic. Just. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah, that's a sign in and of itself. Oh, buddy. Wavy world. Good night. Good night, Zombasaki. Oh, the rewind. Uh, does anybody win in a contest like this? Huh? A whirlwind. Wow, she really does have hella of a tolerance. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a sign that you've had too much. Oh, we're at the Okonomiyaki place. Uh-huh. There's that sound effect again. Uh-huh. Yeah, d- mm-hmm. Nah, fam. Just put her to bed. I like her too in this situation, but just put her to bed. Oh wow. Yeah, so the voice in his head going at it. Oh. Woody is his dick. Johnny. Johnny, no! No, Johnny! Fuck. What a perfect. What a. Oh. Ah. Well, girl's room. The three brain cells just rubbing together. Sweating like a pig. Oh god. Oh god, the awkward. Oh, never mind. Uh huh. Thanks, Johnny. Hey, hey, hey. Back to blocks. The control room. Uh-huh. Primary factor. Instinct. Nobody would. Oh god. Did you say that out loud? No, okay. Oh my god, this is amazing. Yuasa, you fucking madman. Oh my. Yeehaw! Giddy up. Okay, and that's how we ended up right there. Bye. Oh, buddy. Uh-huh. And here we are. Well, could be the oh. Upgraded vault. Mm. Is that CG? I think it is. Nah, it can't be. The way it moves is just so strange. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, Johnny. Probably not. Eh. Eh. Mm-hmm. As they do. She did. Luckily, no. Ooh, thanks, buddy. Okay. Soka. Yeah, man. What a fight with Johnny. Castella is a reward from... Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Poor Keiko-san. Good job, buddy. That can be arranged. And DD. This was a fantastic episode. Oh man, the struggle. The struggle is real. Oh. Shit. Fucking Johnny. Was wondering why the Woody guy was in the OP. Now we know. Now we know. It's his anthropomorphized dick. To make it a cowboy is so perfect. All he wants to do is ride. Mm-hmm. And fire his gun. Mm-hmm. Yahoo! Brilliant. And then the teapot going to boiling. Brilliant. All right, this might be my favorite episode so far for innumerable reasons, not least of which is just the utter depths of insanity that we go to once we start drinking, and the absolute psychedelic whirlwind that Yuasa can create with his trademark visual style and just everything going on here. Amazing. This whole drinking sequence is so right. I mean, it's way over the top and absolutely insane, but that's sort of how it feels when you get into it, and it also just stops being like a problem once you're really fucked up. Move on to Waka and just chugging. Now, unlike the two of them, she doesn't have that much of an expressive glow and is able to actually keep herself together a little bit better, which is interesting, but not terribly important. Her faculties are still being affected dramatically by this, and so the choice that he does make in his inebriation to go to the bathroom is, I think, the best possible choice in this situation. Again, we're looking at all of this not only through the perspective of an unreliable narrator, but through the perspective of an unreliable narrator who is fucking wasted and sees everything through, well, Johnny colored glasses, let's say. The whole thing, and introducing Johnny as just this voice in his head, and then it becoming the Woody. Fantastic. Johnny's suppression. The whole use of that, the contrast between that and yeah, don't mind if I do. Let's go. Go, go. And then to the brain, the sections of the brain all arguing with Johnny and with each other. We must maintain our honor. Mhm. Mhm. I really like her. She's great. She's seems like a potentially really good friend. Not so much a love interest. I mean, we pretty clearly have our love interest going on. This whole sequence demonstrating the parts of the brain as being in a control room of like a spaceship, like the bridge of the Enterprise, reporting to one another, telling each other about different bodily functions, amygdala reporting all of these things in. Primary factor, boobs pressed against shoulder, boo, boo, boo. Ah, causing emergency down here. Yep, this is a problem. Occipital lobe, temporal lobe, yep. Soft swellings of no merit. Why do they have so much control? But Johnny's loving it. Johnny's having a great old time. He's raring to go. Now, it becomes pretty clear that she is fucked up and not acting like herself, given how drunk she is and how much they have had to drink and how she is licking his face and insistently giving him a gum massage. People get weird when they're drunk. It's it's important not to mistake weirdness when drunk with other things. And mistakes can get made when drunk, and they're not always things that you can deal with after the fact. I have made some drunk mistakes myself, and I have regrets about them. There were awkward things. I don't know whether I should talk about it, but a girl I knew in college, again, college stories, because I haven't been drinking much post college. I don't drink much because it's not that fun for me. It kind of sucks. And yeah, but in college, drank a lot. Drank way too much. Probably why I don't drink so much anymore. Was at a party, fraternity party. I was not in a fraternity, but was at a party. Uh, Met a girl there who was a pretty cool girl who lived on my hall and who I was like mildly aware had a thing for me. Just sort of was like, oh yeah, I think she likes me. We hit it off at the party. We were both pretty drunk. We ended up going back to her room and we slept together. We didn't actually have sex, but we slept together. And then it was really awkward after that for a long time. She avoided me and I avoided her. And then eventually we ended up the next year living in the same building. And eventually I reached out to her and was like, look, I'm really sorry for avoiding you. Do you want to grab lunch and just like talk about shit? And she had moved on and I had moved on and we worked things out and everything was fine. Found out that the next year we were living not only in the same building, but in the same like house, sharing common spaces. Bullet fucking dodged. Real scary. But it's important that like the decisions you make when you're drunk, especially with the opposite or same sex, whatever floats your boat, can really have an impact on your future life. And sometimes suppressing your Johnny is a really good idea. And so I gotta just applaud our main character here for not quite giving in. Part of that is he went to the bathroom and fell the fuck asleep, but that's a good thing. Every sequence that we had with Johnny in it was fucking gold and had me cracking up. Could it be? And the door begins to open. Oh, perfect. Just perfect. Not now, buddy. Not now. Oh, wait. Oh. Well, I guess I will. Somebody commented a while ago when I was like, why is Woody in the OP? They're like, you were never going to look at Woody again the same way, ever. You were right. You were so right. I had no idea how right you were. A reward from Jogasaki. Thanks. Getting her comeuppance, getting his. Absolutely bonkers episode. Love with a heart between it. So much very, very interesting symbolism and very interesting just shots and cuts. And that's not even talking about the whole English speaking thing, which is hilarious and just fantastic. The whole idea of people just shooting laser beams of thoughts of speech toward one another is exactly how it feels to be listening to a foreign language that you just tangentially understand. That's how I feel if I watch anime without subtitles. Is like I got that. I got that. I didn't get that. That one was too fast. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. With subs it helps put it all together, but yeah, it's just a great representation. It doesn't really matter what they're actually saying. I'm into embroidery. I have embroidered a Stock Strike, a Rising Dragon on my something. MVP of League They're nonsensical phrases being said. The ones that they actually do say in English when they're getting up there and saying stuff, the stuff about the teeth and about Ozu, is fantastic. The Oz News, amazing. A lot of crazy framing in this episode, and wonderful stuff around Ozu, around her, around him, the whole situation. It's just fantastic. We do get this flash through of all of the different various meetings with Ozu and different scenes with him. I just keep falling in love and more with the style of this show. It's so nuts. It's Yuasa's finest. I'm not saying that like this is his best work ever, but it's just so deeply rooted in his style and so expressive with it that I have to love it. And it's more grounded than something like Kaiba, but still absolutely insane. It takes a grounded perspective and then just spirals out of control outside of it. So we definitely had a lot of format breaking in this episode. Certain things are still present. We still see the fortune teller. We still meet Ozu, but just the nature of the episode is so different, and the conflict of it is so different. Even the idea that he wouldn't really try to join a circle in the episode is fantastic, and the pulling in of various things that we don't really quite understand. We don't know who this Keiko-san is at all, but we definitely know who Kaori is. So there were a couple lines here. Did Jogasaki leave Kaori in his care in order to like take care of her while he couldn't for some reason, and he has to give her back at some point? Is that why he gives him a Castella as a reward? I think so. I think that's what's implied here, but I'm not positive. Really interesting. Yeah, the phallic imagery of the big pole, big tower, and then the drinking contest with Jogasaki. Oh man, they just get insane and demonic. It's gorgeous. Insanely colorful. I learned that just looking into Yuasa's workflow and their style. Well, one, there are a couple of important things about Yuasa. One is that his works are always a collaborative effort. I mean, anime is always a collaborative effort. But while Yuasa is the face of it, he has a group of people that he almost always works with who do various roles in his thing. And one of the people and one of the things that they do is they do color storyboards that sort of using rough outlines of the way that the scenes will be playing out, that one person is in charge of choosing the colors for each scene and how they will change and adapt over the course of each scene. So you have to imagine that in a sequence like this that goes through so many layers of psychedelic colors, like we first see this tower in the yellows. They chose to swap it to the reds once we get sort of sexual with the tower and he starts thinking about things in that light. Them turning red is just glow, right? That's just becoming flushed from alcohol. But as we start drinking, how do we demonstrate that the world is changing for them? Well, with color, of course. We start bathing them in deeper and deeper demonic reds with these greens on Jogasaki's hair and other colors for our protagonist's face. The backgrounds, the everything blends together and contrasts so beautifully because there is specific thought put in before any of it is ever animated, before we get to the color stage, at the storyboard stage or just after, in order to make sure that the emotions demonstrated by these colors are the ones that they want for each sequence, for each scene. The rush of things going by and the wavy aesthetic is so, it's so odd and so unreal, but at the same time it demonstrates and conveys the feeling of a drunken whirlwind of a bar hopping night so well. It's so right, especially if we view it as like we're looking at this in retrospect, and it's just sort of a whirlwind of shapes and colors. And then yeah, we definitely went to some place somewhere, and then we ate okonomiyaki, and then we went to some place somewhere and we drank more, and we went to some place somewhere and then we drank more. Then we went to her place and got in a taxi because she was collapsed, and then I guess I ended up in the bathroom somehow. Weird. It's so right. There's just such good conveyance of emotion and feeling, and the whole Johnny bit is so perfect for the struggle of the struggle. It's the real shit, yo. It's real. Man, this was a good episode. I really like this one a lot. I'm sure that I missed a ton of things here because the show moves so quickly and so much happens in every episode, but that's okay. That's just sort of an inevitability. I'm sure that other people have caught more things, especially if you're watching this for the second time or third time or whatever. But what a fantastic episode. Great depiction of a specific type of night that I don't know if I've seen anything quite like it anywhere else. So, good job, Yuasa. Good job all around. Awesome episode. Strong in joy. Very funny. Very funny. Loved it. And that's going to be a wrap for me. So, I've been Teeaboo. This has been the Tatami Galaxy. Episodes 5 and 6. We have crossed the halfway point threshold and things are getting weird. Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed these episodes as much as I have. If you have thoughts or comments or things that I missed, feel free to leave them in the comments. I don't mind at all. I will read them. And I hope to catch you next week when we watch a couple more episodes. See you there. Peace.